whatever. I think we just haven't reached that stage yet with COVID. And even Scott Morrison, I'm pretty sure, was saying the other day, COVID's something we're going to have to learn to live with.
Okay, but we are, how many weeks now? 8 weeks into lockdown?
Yes.
Why has it taken this long?
That's not for me to answer.
We have had 2 years of COVID now. We're approaching into November, December of this year, which will hit the 2-year mark of COVID, right?
Yep.
The health advice for the past 2 years has been stay home, wear a mask, sanitize your hands.
Yeah.
And there's no denying that there's scientific evidence that to reduce the spread of any kind of infection or virus, that those methods work best.
Yeah.
It's common practice in hospitals and in doctors' offices, but to pretend that COVID is the health crisis is a joke. COVID isn't the health crisis. COVID exposed the health crisis we already had in Australia. Australia was already a very obese country, a very heavy drinking country, a very heavy smoking country.
Oh, everyone knows that Aussies can drink.
If
you want to drink us, then you're fucked.
It is the Aussie, the image of a typical Aussie is with a VB in his hand.
That's our identity.
And a singlet and a bit of a gut.
Yeah.
A bit of a gut. And that's fine if you are like that, but you have to understand that that kind of lifestyle is going to come with consequences. Do you know what I mean? And so when COVID does come around like that, it's most likely going to affect you.
Yeah.
And I don't wish COVID or illness upon anyone. I want everyone to be healthy and happy.
Yep.
But for the government not to take the responsibility and say, guys, we need to get you guys outside. We need to get you exercising. We need to get you social, so that mentally you're sharp. I mean, we were talking about it before at gyms. At gyms, when you're around other people that want to train and get better, you're more motivated to do the same thing.
Yeah.
There's this group mentality that kind of takes you in.
Yeah.
And that's not to say you can't work out from home, but it's definitely not the same.
100%. And at the same time, I'm not going to say COVID isn't a big thing because it has caused many deaths. I know I've had family in Sicily that have had COVID and gotten sick. Family in Spain.
Okay, but gotten sick, and how are they now?
Now, one of them was really, really sick and has recovered, thank God.
Thank God.
But I know people that have had relatives that have passed away from COVID.
Yep.
And I'm not gonna knock COVID and say it's nothing because it is a big thing, but it's I don't know how to explain it.
If you put it into perspective, there is a lot of death in this world.
100%. That's the thing.
One of the biggest factors that goes into death is comorbidities. If you take out accidents and shark attacks and plane crashes, if you just look at natural causes of death, there are very few comorbidities that really lead you down a certain path. And this is a really big wake-up call for a lot of people. If you are obese, if you are abusing nicotine, if you are abusing alcohol, if you're abusing your body, then this is an opportunity for you to really turn that around.
Yeah.
And no one wants to do it. No one wants to go for the jog. No one wants to lift up weights. It sucks. It sucks for everyone. But once you start doing it and you prove to yourself that you can do it, then you're going to become so much healthier and you're so much happier and so much more fulfilled in your life.
Well, that relates back to gym, what we were talking before. Once you start that step and you start seeing the results, you're more inclined to keep going. You have that strive and you're shit, I look like this now. If I keep going, I'm going to look even better.
And it's purely, for me anyways, it's purely I look good in the mirror.
Yeah.
But that's okay. Because as long as I'm healthy and I'm doing that, it's fine.
Yeah. And that's how it starts. That's how it started for me. I started, gaining a little bit of muscle and toning up a bit. And I was like, shit, I look better in clothes now.
Yeah.
I look good in the mirror. And then, you keep going and then people start noticing and they're like, shit, man, you've lost weight or damn, you're filling out. And
there's a chain effect.
Yeah. And it just keeps going and going and going. And then, then it comes to a point when people who are starting your journey start asking you for advice and you're like, shit, have I not become that influential, but do I look like a person that they can come to ask for help?
I will answer that for you. You definitely do. So, I mean, you know this already, but when we first started training together, properly, I was at a very low point in my life. You know what I mean? I'd been through a really ugly breakup. I was not in the best mental state, physically, financially. My life was very much so. For a 20-year-old anyway, I'm sure there's some 40-year-old who's seen 10 times more shit than me. But for the way it felt in that moment, it was very intense.
Yeah.
And it was you that came forward and said, bro, just come to the gym with me. Like, we'll get a workout in. Or you took me to the beach and we just, like,
I
fucked
remember that
around,
day.
you know?
That was a good day.
And
that drive home.
so I don't want to come across like I'm very pretentious or very, just work out, just get it done, because that's not who I am. Yeah. I get what it's like to be in that rut, and I'm telling you from the other side, it is so worth the struggle.
Yeah.
It is so worth the struggle.
Yeah, man.
And you were the person that really inspired me to do that. So,
I wouldn't say I inspired you. I'd say I just helped you pave your own way. Like, because...
Are you trying to be a politician or some shit, bro? What are we doing here? Come on.
No, man. Like, in all seriousness, like, because I've been in your spot before, and I feel like at that time, but I didn't have someone to help me pave that way. Yep. I kind of just, like, got lucky and, found gym, and that, became my hobby. Yeah. That's what helped me a lot. And I'm not saying it's going to help everyone, but I think...
90% of people.
Yeah, like, it does help people, right? And... when we started training together, man, and then like you then versus you now, bro. Like to say I'm proud of you, man, is like the biggest understatement. Like,
stop it, bro. Stop it.
Your abs have abs. All right, don't fucking start me, okay? We went to the gym to pose together, and you shit on me, man. You shit on me. Like, yeah, I might look bulky and muscular, but bro, like you. Like, I'm not trying to fat shame you or anything, man. Like, but before...
Oh, no, fat shame me.
No,
I deserved it.
No. But, like, you weren't even fat. Like, yeah, you got a little bit comfortable.
It's a bit soft.
And...
It's a little bit soft.
You weren't obese. You were nothing like that,
no.
Right? You weren't fat, I wouldn't say. You still had... Bro, you always have amazing legs, which I fucking hate you for that. Because fuck you. My calves are a stick 24/7. But, man, like, I've seen the work you've put in, bro, and like to see you then and how you are now. Like, yeah, we had a few rough patches, like there was days when we're coming back from a certain apartment and you were a bit, how you going on the way home, and like we all have those days. That's what makes us human. We have to go through those things because no one can go through like a perfect life and just be like, oh yeah, I've done all this and that. Like, no, fuck you, man.
Well, that's
like,
a really fucking boring story.
Exactly.
Like, think of it this way. Which movie would you rather watch? The guy that goes to Afghanistan in the Korangal Valley, who conquers death? Or the guy who settles in a 401k and has a very safe, stable house with 2 kids and a dog?
That's it.
Like, I'm going to watch the fucking Afghanistan movie.
Yeah, exactly, man.
And so I think the more you put yourself out there and the more risks you take.
Yeah.
The better your story's going to be, the more character you're going to develop.
Yeah. And like exactly for character development, what you were just saying then, right? So like how you were saying before, like, you weren't in the best spot, like financially, mentally and all that. Like, you did what you had to do. Like you went and got that job, you started having bank coming in, man. Like you were clearing off, okay, yep, I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. I'm going to do that. And then you were like, you know what? Like, if I want to change my body, I want to change my body. Then you started fasting, and that worked for you. You found what worked.
Yeah, fasting's great, and I love
it. But like, you looked for what needed to be done, and you did it. You didn't bullshit it, like.
And I think it's stuff I've always known I had to do. Like I always knew I had to work out. I always knew I had to study. I always knew I had to figure out another way to get money. But you had that turning point in your head that clicked for you. It's a shame it had to get that far, but I don't think I would have come into this project with the rocket fuel that I do.
And I guarantee you now, like as shitty as all that shit you went through was, you wouldn't be who you are today if you hadn't gone through it.
No, of course not.
And if someone was to ask me, would you want to still go through all that shit? And I'd be like, you know what? Yes, because then I'll be a completely different person today. Like,
you'd be soft, bitch.
Oh, bro, I'd still be a skinny motherfucker outside being like, hi.
Yeah.
Like, and yeah, like you have to go through that shit to come out better on the end.
Mm-hmm.
And unfortunately, sometimes, in those rare cases that it doesn't always get better straight away or for a while. But like my mentality is, if you put in the work and you know what you want, like it has to get better. You have to believe that, because then what's the point of doing anything? You know what I mean? Like, it's just like, oh, well, if I keep doing this and keep doing that, that's going to happen. Like, what's that motivation? Where's that strive?
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, and I think that kind of let's call it what it is, that loser mentality is really coming to light now, because there's people that are just, and I understand their concerns, I understand their frustrations. Like, there's no denying that COVID is a real thing. It's killing a lot of people, and we do need to take precautions.
Yeah.
But there's people that are happy to stay locked inside, wearing 2 masks in their apartment, arm's length away from their partner. And I'm obviously being a bit facetious, but, they're happy to live in that little condoned bubble.
Yeah.
And yell at people and get your fucking mask on and get away from each other. And what are you doing outside? Like, there's people get that power rush from it because their lives suck in every other dynamic.
Yeah.
But once they can tell someone what to do and put your mask on, and they get that kind of authoritarian sense of power.
Power trip.
Yeah. It's their only kind of opportunity to do that.
Yeah.
And
I know you, man.
I know the happiest people in the world do not do that.
Yeah.
They do not. The happiest, most fulfilled people in the world are very much just calm in these kinds of situations. They take information from this side and they take information from that side. And they try and get a very balanced approach.
Yeah.
The problem is we're not getting access to the balance of information.
Yeah.
We're getting very much the case numbers and the deaths and the
cases in community.
And the lockdown zones, but we're not getting, the alternatives, taking vitamins, the comorbidities. We're not taking the easing of lockdowns. Like, a lockdown is a ridiculous concept.
Yeah.
The idea that you're not allowed to leave your house after 9 p.m. because of a flu.
Right. That comes down to that video we were talking about before.
Yeah.
Like, that's, like, in that sense, I 100% agree, because the world's laughing at us. Like, my neighbor, right, she's from London, okay?
Yeah.
And she calls her cousin every now and then over there, like, to see how they're going, because they were in a really bad spot at one point as well.
Yeah.
Like, way worse than us.
Oh, London went through it rough.
Badly. A lot of Europe did. Like, my abuela in Spain was by herself for like a good 5 months because
that's fucking horrible.
They couldn't go anywhere. You couldn't even see people. Nothing. Like, it was go to the shops for groceries. That's it. Like, that's it. And I'm pretty sure they like.
No, that's because they didn't have Bunnings over there.
But it was so crazy over there. And she was before this lockdown, she was telling us they'd be asking, oh, how's things in Australia going, whatever. And they'd be like, oh, we had 300 cases in a day, right? We had 300 cases. And her cousin would be like, what, every hour? And she's like, no, in the day. She's like, we have 50,000 cases a day. Yeah. They're still walking about, living their life. Like, I have a friend in Sicily. Mm-hmm. We actually called this morning, and he was telling us that he came back at 4 a.m. in the morning after clubbing. The only time they have to wear a mask in Italy or Sicily is when they go to a restaurant, and then even then you take it off, you eat. I mean, you can still go out clubbing and shit.
Why restaurants though?
Beats me. I have no idea.
It's so random.
And then and then you got like that reporter, the American guy, saying how they just can't get their head around how we only have a couple of hundred cases a day, which, okay, it's not great, people are still dying, and I'm not dissing that. But compared to them, and then they're still finding a way to live life. Like, it's crazy.
I think if you look at the net positive and the net negative of what this lockdown has done, I think it's scary to really think about the consequences. The amount of drug abuse, the amount of financial ruin, the amount of suicide, the
mental
amount
health
of
has really been fucked up.
Yeah, we've had issues with mental health in my family before. Yeah. And
same here, man.
It's rough.
Yeah.
Especially to see your loved ones going through something like that. It is really hard. And you try and be supportive and you try and really care for them. But if they don't have access to a social outlet, if they don't have access to, the ability to exercise and, be free, when they feel caged like that and they're suffering some form of mental illness, it heightens. And the ones that love them the most end up suffering for that.
Yeah, that's it.
And this lockdown is going to destroy a lot of families. And thank God my family unit is strong, and thank God we've got such a strong character. Yeah. But that is not something I'd wish upon anyone. Yeah. It's
100%.
tough. And lockdowns need to end. today.
Yeah.
Today.
Yeah, man.
Like, to the point where the World Health Organization, you know, the largest health body in the entire world, has said we don't condone lockdowns. So on what fucking planet do we live on that we're so pretentious that we think that a lockdown is going to work and Gladys is going to steer us to the very end, and then in 6 months' time when we get another wave of COVID, bang, we're back.
Yeah. I don't know, man. I don't have an answer. I just, it's... All I know is that I wouldn't want to be in that situation. I wouldn't want to be in her shoes because I wouldn't know how to deal with it.
What would you... Okay, you get a magic wand, right? What does that look like? What is your exit strategy?
For, like, this whole situation? Yeah. I don't know, man.
Like, here you go, Chris. You've got the magic powers of the Ministry of New South Wales. You can do whatever you want with that. What are you going to do?
I don't know, man. I'm not that type of person. Like, it's... I don't know. I wouldn't know what to do, honestly. Mm-hmm. If anything, the first thing that comes to my mind is, like, cure. Like, not even cure, but, like, I'd still want us to live life, you know? Like influenza vaccine. That, you know, like something like that.
So you think vaccination's the key out?
Well, the thing is, vaccinations isn't a cure. Mm-hmm. And the thing is, right, like the whole AstraZeneca thing with, you know, letting blood clots and that. Mm-hmm. People like myself who are anaphylactic can react very differently to these vaccinations. Like, I was very not on board getting vaccinated. I still haven't been yet. Mm-hmm. But because of my anaphylaxis...
Don't get away from me. No, I'm joking.
Because of my anaphylaxis, like, you know, I've been in situations where I've had anaphylactic reactions and, like, it's not fun. And the people around you who see you suffer, like, they suffer like you were saying before. Like, it doesn't just hurt you. And then it's scary as fuck. Like, I don't want to get the vaccine and then next thing you know, I'm in a hospital bed in ICU. Yeah. Because of something that was trying to help me. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, I wouldn't know what to do. Like, I'm not the man for that job. Yeah. What would you do? I'm very curious.
What would I do?
Because your mentality is very different to mine. You're good on this shit.
I just listen to a lot of opinions and, you know, I try and weigh out what makes sense to me and what doesn't. I think the real key out of any situation like this is education. It's the accessibility to reliable, standardized information that take on both sides. Do you know what I mean?
Yep.
Because we live in a country that is built upon, and I don't want to sound too patriotic, but built upon the ability to make your own decisions, right? We're not in a dictatorship. We're not in a totalitarian regime.
No, 100%. That's why we have Anzac Day.
Exactly. You know, like, people fought for this freedom for us. And to kind of come in with this strong arm approach and you can't do this and you have to stay inside. Yeah. Like, okay, I get that the first time around it was a knee-jerk reaction. No one knew what the fuck was going on. We thought this was going to be a zombie apocalypse or some shit. Yeah. Everyone get inside, stay home, let's figure this out. Yeah. But as more information and more statistics came out, we should have adjusted. Yeah. We should have changed our approach and said, okay, guys, this thing, realistically, it's got a 3% kill rate. It's got a 3% kill rate, and we have to protect our most vulnerable members, particularly the elderly who are far, like, I think the graph, I'm going to put it in post, but the graph for people who die is like just spikes at 65 plus. Mm. But it's interesting because the people who get it, it spikes at 18 to 25. Yeah, right? Okay. So people who are in a healthier range, not to say they all are, but people who are in a healthier range are far more likely to get COVID and recover. And I think that's the best possible situation for anyone. You get COVID, you beat it, and you get the natural antibodies to it. Yep. As opposed to a vaccination. Obviously, not everyone's going to be able to get through that. But people need to be allowed to mitigate their own... Hey, buddy. Sorry, guys. My dog has just decided to join us.
Want to say hello?
Hey. Oh, he's so annoying. Oh, my God. He'll get bored in a minute. Anyways... People need to have access to that information and say, okay, is this a risk I'm prepared to take? Do you know what I mean? We were worried that our ICU units weren't going to be compatible enough, or we weren't going to have enough units to kind of facilitate that. But that's not the reality of the situation.
Yeah.
Most people that get COVID kick it, and people have a different time about dealing with that. Some people it lasts 2 days and they're fine. Some people it goes 2 months and they're still really struggling.
Yeah.
But we need to best prepare people to be physically able to fight it. Give them the best possible chance. So we have to really educate people and really push for, limitations on alcohol, limitations on
it comes back to what you were saying before.
Exactly. And getting healthy, taking vitamins, getting enough sleep, all this stuff we've been talking about this entire podcast.
Yeah.
That's been tried and tested for generations and generations and generations, and it always comes out on top.
Yeah.
No magic pill is ever going to be able to replace that.
Yeah.
And yeah, I think...
I agree with that. That's really good.
Yeah, I think once we can put an emphasis on that, and then people are more aware of the entire situation, so they're not being fear-mongered into one opinion, but they're not being, frivolous and just saying, oh, it's fake, it's not real. Come on, fucking sit down. It's real. It's a real thing.
Yeah.
Once we can kind of get everyone collective, then we can make a decision as a unit, and say, okay, let's have a vote, or let's do something where people are engaged in the conversation.
Yeah.
Rather than me talking to you, why don't we have a conversation here?
Yeah, no, I agree with that a lot. Especially the part you were saying where, how Australia was very well known for our alcoholic and obesity rates and all that. The fact as well that
cheers to that, by the way. If you're having a beer right now, fucking
pay your fucking respect. But I think the fact as well, I don't condone fat shaming or any of that. I'm very, like I was saying before, if you're gonna lose weight and you want me to help you, I'm gonna do my best to help you. All right?
Yeah.
Hands down. But I think as well, because in our day and age, that being a what's the correct word here? A bigger size, right? It's more accepted, if that makes sense. And how you were saying with we need to be better educated on our health to help our bodies fight off these type of diseases.
Yeah,
right?
absolutely.
Being at that size, or drinking that much a day, does not help our situation at all.
Yeah.
Period. I don't.
And look at what we're doing, man. We're locking people inside their houses where they're all, the majority of people are just getting Uber Eats food all day and no one's moving off the couch to watch Netflix.
Exactly right. I'm guilty of that, man. The amount of times I've ordered Uber Eats in this lockdown is ridiculous.
Yeah.
Why drive and spend $20 on your food while you can sit on the couch and pay $90?
Exactly. It makes perfect sense to me.
Yeah, exactly.
It makes perfect sense to me.
And, not everyone is, is privileged to have, or own a treadmill at their house where they can get steps in a day. You walk around, our area.
But let's be real here. You can, right now, get off your couch if you're watching this, do 10 push-ups.
Yeah.
10 sit-ups. If you can't do that, do 5. If you can't do that, you do 1. You can do something.
Yeah.
Just get something done.
100%. And going for a walk outside, okay, yeah, you have to wear a mask, but if...
Actually, no, you don't.
Don't you?
No. I think I saw it in the government mandate that the only time you're allowed to not wear a mask is when you're exercising. Don't quote me on that.
I was pretty sure whenever you're doing, if you're walking outside.
You find out? Google it real quick.
Let's have a look.
Sorry, we've got time. Because I want to get this right. I don't want to send out some false information and get cancelled.
We're the last people to trust in this.
But if you haven't gathered, Chris and I are actually specialists in virology. And we worked in the Wuhan lab whilst COVID was being invented. So if there's anyone you're going to trust to kick this thing, it's Chris and I.
In local government areas...
Wait, just a bit more into the mic, bro.
In local government areas where the stay-at-home rules apply, when you leave home, you must carry a face mask with you at all times. Exemptions when you can remove your mask, eating or drinking, communicating with another person who is deaf or hard of hearing.
Okay.
At work, at the nature of of the work makes the wearing of a fitted face covering a risk to the person. Identity purposes, emergency situation. Okay. Doing exercise in one of the 12 LGAs of concern, a mask can be removed if you're doing strenuous exercise.
Okay.
So, what's strenuous exercise?
I'm doing this really hard yoga. Actually, no, yoga, because you got to focus on your breathing.
Yeah.
I think
okay. So what, does power walking come down as strenuous exercise?
Oh my God.
Like, what if you're going for a walk but having a cigarette? Like,
oh my God, did you see that video today?
Which one?
Oh my God, I don't know which minister it was, or some official guy. And he was asked, like, so you can eat while you're walking or exercising or something like that. And he goes, well, yeah. And he goes, oh, so like if I get a kebab while I'm running, and the guy just started cracking up.
Tell me you live in Southwest Sydney.
Oh my God. He was trying to get it out, like, yes, you can have it.
Oh my God.
I'm going to try and find the video and fucking put it under here, man. It was hilarious. He could not keep it together.
Actually, but you just unlocked the memory. There was that whole incident. I think it was at the Rashay's HQ. I don't know where it's. Is it Chipping Norton or Casula or something.
Wherever.
And all the cops went in and were like, you know, bombarding the CEO with all these allegations and questions and that. And from what you can see was an employee was on a lunch break, like mask was like under the chin, still on, eating lunch, and the cops came and started arresting her for not having a mask on. And it's like, what the fuck? Like, but okay, in saying that, I don't know the whole story. So, you know, if I'm an idiot and I got it wrong, I apologize.
But there's something to that. Like
no one's around you as well if you're on a lunch break. Like the whole 1.5 meter rule. Like,
yeah, I mean,
okay. And sorry, just to cut you off.
No, you're right.
When I went to go get food, I think maybe a month ago, I was on a TAFE break, right? And I went and got GYG, and as soon as I walked in, right, I had my phone out to go scan the QR code, whatever, check in, check out. Didn't even get a chance to go up to it, and there was two police officers leaving the venue.
Yeah.
As soon as I walked in, the guy comes up to me, like, I shit you not, like where the microphone was his face, and I was here. Comes up.
Did he go in for a kiss?
Oh, you fucking better not. Comes up to me and he's like, "You need to check into the QR code right now." Ooh. And I was like, you can't say anything, but like I could have been like, "Bro, you need to back the fuck up. Like, where's your 1.5 meters?" Like,
yeah.
You know, like, what the fuck?
I was having this conversation the other day. I think being a police officer must be one of the hardest jobs.
100%.
It must be one of the hardest jobs.
And like, you know, to anyone that's watching this that is a cop, and the ones that I do know, like, you have my respect, because like
most of you,
no, like the ones that are trying to like the majority that are doing the right thing and are trying to help. Because I know ones that don't agree with a lot that's going on.
Yeah,
but you know, still have to enforce the rules and regulations.
The way I look at it is, at the end of the day, they've still got, you know, bills to pay and families to
that's
feed.
it, man.
You know
like,
what I mean?
You know,
so if they get mandated this order that they have to force people to stay home, then, I mean, they're powerless in that situation. They're just a cog in a system.
You got to do what you got to do.
And so what you really have to get angry at is, well, not angry, but what you really have to start questioning is who's deciding the direction of those people.
Yeah.
You know, like I've personally only had very good experience with police officers.
Yeah.
You know, and
that was the first time I've ever had a bad encounter.
Yeah.
And like, I wouldn't count it as like terrible or anything, but like still, it was a bit like he didn't even look that much older than me, but like he felt like he had to assert his dominance.
Well, it's that thing we were talking about before, where like if you get a taste of power, if
you go on that power trip.
You get that power trip, like you want to enforce it as much as possible. It's human nature. It's 100%. What we do as people.
Yeah.
But you know, like I've had police officers, you know, be extremely respectful, extremely calm, extremely, you know, ability to mitigate a situation without it turning violent or without it turning into something.
Yeah.
You know, there's always going to be that arsehole cop that, you know, decides I've had a bad day.
Yeah.
You know, but you've got to understand as well, like these people put their lives on the line
100%.
every single day.
I mean, like myself, I have so much respect for anyone in police enforcement, defense force, fireys, all that. Like, you know that I've always wanted to join the defense force, right?
Yeah.
And like, for people to do what they do, like put their lives on the line, and And then to have like, at certain times, like we were saying before, like the media, like changing a whole story and, not showing all the facts, and like they must cop so much shit and have their mentality affected so much.
Of course.
Like, but they still get up every day. They put on their badge, they get the uniform on, and they come to help us. And, when things are going to shit, I guarantee you that the people that are like, knocking all the cops, right? They're going to be calling the cops when they need something, when they need help.
Yeah, of course.
But when they don't, it's okay to like shit talk on them. Like,
Yeah. It's a give-take kind of situation. And I think the problem really becomes is when you turn into a tribe again, it's cops against us. Well, no, because when they're not cops, they are us.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, they're part of the community just as anyone else. And I think, again, kind of to make the point, like if you want to make any change in society, it never starts at the very top. It starts at the bottom. The individuals within the community need to raise their standards and what they expect from other people. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And whatever that looks like, you need to know that you've given everything that you possibly can into that day.
Yeah.
You're not going to get 100% of the time. But if you can go to sleep at night knowing like, fuck, I did everything that I possibly could today.
Yeah.
And I was, kind, human, and honest.
Props to you. Yeah.
Then you're slowly starting to make changes within society.
Yeah.
Because the power lies within the individual. It's never who's in charge. Gladys, at the end of the day, has no control over New South Wales.
Yeah.
If every single person in New South Wales decided that the lockdown ended today, it would end today.
Oh, yeah.
Like, it just would. No matter how much militia and no matter how much police force she calls. It would turn into a civil war.
Yeah.
Which is not what they want.
Yeah, 100%.
So, I think I think if there's any key takeaway from this, it's like just live as honestly and as respectfully as you can.
Yeah.
And,
just don't be that
dickhead. Do your best.
Yeah.
Just do your best.
Yeah.
It's tough out there for everyone.
We're all suffering. Like, you might see someone having it worse than you, but then you might see another person you think's, doing really good, but mentally they're like, they're
absolutely.
fucked. Like, we don't know each other's situations. So like,
of course not.
Everyone's fighting their own battles, and you just want to help everyone.
Then I am COVIDed out.
Yeah.
I feel like it's all I've been talking about these last.
I feel like my back has COVID after that.
What's new? What's on your agenda? What are you working into?
I mean, I've just been playing a shitload of PlayStation.
Yeah,
bro.
what are you playing?
Oh, all right. So if you didn't know this, some people might know this. I fucking love Star Wars. Like,
really?
Bro, I can tell you everything and anything about Star Wars.
You Star Wars fans are weird.
Bro, comics, PC games, PlayStation games, movies, cartoon shows, TV, everything.
Damn.
Love Star Wars, right? And I bought Star Wars Battlefront 2, like it's a game for PlayStation, right? And when I first started playing, like I had no fucking idea what I was doing. I was like, fuck this is shit. But like I really wanted to get into it because I love Star Wars.
Yeah.
Now that I've had this time to actually get into it, I'm like fucking hooked in it like 8 hours a day. Bro, like that is my new job. I'm like ready to start up a fucking podcast just playing Star Wars.
Just playing Star Wars.
Oh man.
Yeah.
And, like I've been playing like Call of Duty, Assassin's Creed, and like because I played so much COD as well before, it's actually got me really good at Star Wars now, or Star Wars Battlefront. Yeah, bro, I love Star Wars. Like, I don't know what, I think my cousin got me into it, who's coincidentally part of the Air Force as well.
There you go.
But yeah, he got me into it as a kid, and I don't know, man. I've always loved it.
I think once you hit that,
like that,
yeah, no, that's cool. I fuck with that. I think once you hit that nostalgia kind of level of fandom,
yeah,
do you know what I mean? Where it's like you leave it for a couple of years and you go like, oh my god, I remember that.
Yeah, it's just next level.
It hits different, you know?
And like, but not even just Star Wars, man. Like comics in general, love that shit,
mm-hmm.
Bro. The new Spiderman trailer. Oh my god.
Oh my god, you're gonna hate me. I'm just not into it, bro. I'm sorry.
Okay. Bro.
No, but tell me.
Like, oh my
Sell
god.
me on it. How good is it?
But you need to know, like, okay, have you seen any Spider-Man movie at all?
I watched
the ones with Tobey Maguire.
Okay, so I've watched the first and second one, like the OG ones.
Yeah, with the guy Doc Ock.
Yeah, Doc Ock.
Okay,
Shit.
he's pretty much the whole reason, or one of the reasons why I got so G'd up.
Right.
Okay, so in the new trailer,
Mm-hmm.
Hang on, a little backtrack. So there's been 3 different Spider-Mans, like, in the cinemas, right? Tobey Maguire.
3? There's been like 20.
The 3 main ones.
Okay.
So Tobey Maguire, Andrew Garfield, and
Tom Holland, wasn't it?
yeah, Tom Holland. That's the recent one.
Yeah.
Okay. So in the Tobey Maguire series, all right. So you got the first one, the second one, the
He's
third
the
one.
really nerdy looking one.
Yeah, it's Leonardo DiCaprio's best friend back in the day.
Ah, there you go. I didn't know that.
There you go. Right. He done the second one with Dr. Octavius, the Doc Ock, the guy with the tentacles, mechanical shit.
Yeah.
Right. And in the first one you had Green Goblin. The third one you had Venom. Now Venom has started its own
Yeah, I think that's where it loses me, right? Like, I can appreciate the story just on its own, but once they start interconnecting it into, like, this has a spin-off and this has a spin-off, it's like...
Just wait till you, like, start learning about multiverse.
Exhausting. It's exhausting.
Bro, what do you mean? I get it, and I'm like, holy shit, and I'm like, on that, it's like that. It's like... Wait, what podcast... Like, what's the rating on this?
Dude, this is say whatever the fuck you want. Fuck shit.
It's like
cunt.
It's like if when you're watching porn and it's like, wait, I've seen that one. Oh, hang on, what's going on there? And you just keep, bro. That's what it's like for me when I'm reading this shit. I'm not even joking. Like, you know what I mean, but
okay,
like,
you were way too into Spider-Man.
But no, not just Spider-Man. Like, there's Marvel and DC in general.
Right.
Oh my god, bro. Yeah. I'm the biggest like. I love that shit,
I like it. You go deep. I like when people get excited like that.
Bro, I love it, man. And like supernatural shit as well. I'm all like, bro, you know I've fucking watched all of Vampire Diaries series, the originals. I grew up watching Charmed with my sisters. I thought you were gay for a
little bit.
Yeah, so did
I. I'm sorry, but whenever a guy brags about like, I've watched all the Vampire Diaries, it's like... Okay,
I love that.
That's cool, man. Like, you do you.
Yeah. Nah, man, I'll live for that shit, bro.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know why, but like sci-fi in general, like science fiction, I don't know, man. I just love it, bro. I get so invested in it.
It's not just you, though, because there's definitely a movement. Like,
oh, yeah,
I
man.
think...
If you think I'm bad, bro, I'm like fucking just touching the tip of the scale.
Yeah, no, I know some people that are just like, whoa. But, like... I think my first experience with like anything kind of supernatural in terms of just like media was like Harry Potter or something like that. You know what I mean? Like you could put that like wizards.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
And I got really deep into it. Like I was reading all the books, I was watching all the movies, and then I think because the storyline just kept developing so far, it kind of it got hard to follow.
Yeah. Okay.
Do you know what I mean?
Oh no, I agree. Like there's certain like books or movies there where like you can't just like pick up, the 6th one in the series.
No, definitely not.
And just watch it and be like, oh yeah, I know what's going on.
Whereas something like Fast and Furious, you don't need to know who anyone is.
Bro, you got family.
That's You're good.
I mean, bro, we're not related. You're my brother, bro. Like,
yeah.
We're family.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Oh, the bald guy's angry. Like, watch out. But you were saying?
Yeah, man, just science fiction in general. Like there's certain books and movies where you can just, pick up or watch and like you can watch and know what's going on. But then there's certain ones where like for example, Star Wars, right? They released 7, 8, and 9, okay? After God knows how many years.
Yeah.
If you jumped straight into, I don't know, number 9 or number 8, without knowing any of like beforehand, like if I told you that Anakin Skywalker was Darth Vader and he had 2 kids.
Okay, listen, no, I don't live under a fucking rock.
There you go. But but so Darth Vader is Anakin Skywalker, right? Yeah. Okay. By the time you get to 9, all right, his son Luke Skywalker has now become the Grand Jedi Master.
Right. Of
the Order that is no more, but she's starting again. Yeah. But now his grandson...
See, now you start talking about Grand Jedi Masters, and I think you're in Scientology.
That's what I'm saying. It's so hard to wrap your head around it if you don't know like the fundamentals. But yeah, like, oh, bro, Star Wars, I live for that shit.
Yeah. No, I get it. I was really into Doctor Who growing up, which no one knows about, which really sucks. I'm
not gonna lie.
Yeah, it was this UK British show, and it was about this alien guy, and he had a time machine that looked like one of those police boxes, right?
Yeah,
and he'd just go on these adventures and take over, like, save planets and stuff like that. It was very predictable kind of plot.
Yeah.
But there was always an element of surprise. There's always an element of suspense.
Okay.
And I think I really got so deep into that that anything else kind of just wasn't it for me.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
yeah.
I never really went through like a Lord of the Rings phase or a Harry Potter phase after that, or a Star Wars phase.
I mean, I wouldn't say I'm like with like the whole sci-fi universe, right? Because you got like, Lord of the Rings, like you said, Star Trek. Like, I'm not that invested in all those types of movies. Like, I know like a fair bit, whatever.
Yeah. You're good for a trivia night.
Oh yeah, like if you tell me to go to Comic-Con, let's go.
Yeah.
Bro.
Are you dressing up?
Fuck yeah, bro. Bro, I'll go as a fucking chick if I have to. I'll go to that.
Okay, what are you dressing up as?
Ooh.
Let's plan our Comic-Con.
Alright, but like what? Okay, so like anything, because like that's very like if you say anything, bro, like there's a big fucking bubble to choose from.
Okay, I don't know.
Like, you got all of DC, all of Marvel, like Disney, like...
You look like a kid in a sugar store right now. I've never seen you this happy.
Bro, like, I literally watched the new Spiderman trailer last night with the girl I'm seeing.
You're seeing a girl?
Fuck off. Yes,
who's this girl? Who's this mystery girl, man?
Ooh, I don't know if I'm allowed to say yet.
Okay.
Oh, actually, no, I am allowed to say because I have posted her. Her name's Jordan. She's she's.
How'd you meet this Jordan girl?
At the gym.
Where all true love stories start.
That's
it,
man. Yeah, we actually. Fun fact about that. So we met at the gym, and we were pretty much like started to become really good friends for like a good 7 months, I'd say. And then, made a move and never looked back.
Okay. I mean, there's a couple more details in there.
I'm not going to talk about that. Right? Fuck
there
off.
was wedding dresses arranged and proposals.
No.
But okay.
There was a very good night at Candy's, let's just say that.
Yeah, for sure. It was a great night. No, but I like all props to you. She's a great girl, and I really like her for you. Shout out Jordan. What's her Instagram? Jordan?
I'll put it through Jordan V Pasqua. I think.
There we go. Shout out Jordan.
She she's great, man.
Yeah,
she knows what she's doing. She's very into her faith, which I find very beautiful. As well.
Okay, cool.
And I think because like all Latino, Spanish, Italian kids or WOGs, most of us born Catholic, right?
Yeah, majority.
You'll get baptized, whatever.
Yeah.
And like I wouldn't say I grew up very religious, but like I made communion. I don't think I did confirmation. But then going more into my teens, I transitioned from Catholic to Christian.
Yeah.
And that was because of my my auntie. She went to a church called Inspired Church. So me and my mum started going there, just in Liverpool.
Yeah.
And I got very, very into my faith then. Like I was part of the lighting and sound production team.
Wow.
We were doing like really big events where like people from all over New South Wales would come to a conference in our church, which we called Intensifier. And it was honestly like, I'm not as religious as I was then, but it was still a very beautiful thing. Like just seeing all these people in their element and their faith and being able to, I think what I felt so accomplished when I was there, like, yes, I was there for my faith, but to be able to help people like get into that, like in that atmosphere, like doing the lights, you don't know how much fun I had, man. It was like, think of going to like a J. Cole concert, right?
Okay, now we're talking.
And then like the lights are going fucking crazy when he's singing, when he's getting people up on stage, you got the spotlight there, the strobe lights going, smoke machine. I did all that. And like,
I wish I had have known that before I built this thing, because I had no idea what I was getting into.
Bro, man, I was doing like, the go-bell effects, LED lights. Like I had so much fun. And like, I wouldn't be as good as I was then. And I was only like 15 at the time. Yeah. But I even got I got this award. What's it called? It's when you do so many hours of community service, like not for like jail reasons and that. but you get this special award, and I got the highest one. I did like over 300 hours or 400 hours of community service.
Jesus Christ, you put in your grind,
bro.
huh?
I was doing like Easter events, Christmas events. We had like Latino nights as well. Like at one point, I was gonna perform candombe, bro.
Oh
like,
my god, of course.
Could you imagine? Like, what's that Spaniard doing up there? You fucking
No, dude, I think there's something very beautiful about that.
Yeah.
I'll never be aspect of religion.
Yeah, I'll never be one to lock religion or faith, man. Like, if you want to believe in that, you believe in that, bro. Like, that's
I mean,
who am I to tell you?
There's a couple out there that I would, steer clear of that guy.
Yeah,
get into that Scientology shit.
Yeah, I know you, man.
Wait, aliens? Really? Like that's
bro.
Okay,
now we're talking.
But yeah, I mean, it's crazy because the concept of Scientology was literally written like 50 years ago or something.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna butcher this for sure, but from what I understand, it's like there's this alien overlord that's gonna come and rescue all the humans one day from their own peril, and those who adopt this religion are going to be saved.
Yeah, I feel with me so. My faith now is like, I don't know, like I still believe, I guess, in Jesus. I wouldn't say I'm like over the top, go every Sunday to church and all that.
Yeah.
But like I think as well, because like being a geek like I am, like the whole, like recently I've been playing Assassin's Creed Valhalla, right? And that's all about Norse mythology.
Yeah.
So you got like the whole Norse pantheon, so like Odin, Thor, Loki, Baldur, right? All those type of gods.
Ties into
right.
I see.
Then you've got like the Greek gods, so like God of War, Kratos, and all that, right? Then you got like Zeus, Apollo, Poseidon, Hades, and you got all that.
Yeah.
Which back then people believed, like, and that, like you can't knock that. Like that's their religion,
Yeah.
Then you got like Egyptian gods, the what's his name? The god of death, Anubis, I think it is Anubis or something. The guy that looks like a dog face and he's got the big.
Oh yeah.
Remember there was a guy in Candy's dressed as that?
Yeah, 100%. I remember that. That was weird.
Yeah. What you go dress up as in? Oh, had a Calvin Klein
Candy's
shirt.
is that nightclub that it's like so hit or so miss.
But that was at the OG Candy's. That was at Showborn Hotel.
True. Anyways, I don't want to steer you too far off track. I think we're going somewhere interesting.
But yeah, man, like because I'm so into all of that as well.
Yeah.
Like I don't know what I'm like 100% driven in, because I think I'm so open to so many aspects as well. Like I think that's another reason why like I'm very. If you came and told me, you're Buddhist or whatever religion you believe in, I'll be like, oh man. Sweet. I'm not going to knock it. I'm not going to judge it. Nothing like that. Because I'm so open to everything. Yeah. And then you got the whole talk of like aliens and that, right? I think actually we were talking about this months ago, and I was like, remember I read this theory somewhere where it was like, so you've got the whole, like the Greek gods, pantheons, North pantheon, Hinduism, Egyptian, all their different types of gods, Christianity, whatnot, right? So what if it was extraterrestrials that came to this planet, and over time people have just assumed now that they were the makers of the world?
I would say we need a fucking joint.
But like that's...
No, look, I have heard theories like that. Like,
there
was this one about Mars.
Martians.
I really should look this shit up. But, I mean, I would have a laptop here and the TV's not working and we're still figuring it out, all right?
We need
People,
a joint.
bear with us. Bear with us. But from what I understand, there's this theory that kind of went around that, like, we are the Martians that left Mars and populated Earth, and it's deeply embedded in our history that it is true, but it was wiped away.
Okay.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so that's why we have this fascination with Mars and this biological, desire to go explore it, because it's almost like a home for us. And so there's a lot of biblical references to that, like Noah's Ark. Do you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
Small select population was sent to go over to what we call now Earth. And yeah, I mean, it sounds like total horseshit, but it's fun to play with.
100%,
It's fun to play with. Like, I don't close my mind to the idea that there's aliens out there.
Yeah.
I think.
I'll never forget. I was doing a science assignment when I was in like year 9 or something.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember asking majority of the teachers, I had to fill out some questionnaire shit, whatever, for it. And it was like, do you believe in life at other planets? And like 9 out of 10, all of them said yes. I think one of them was Catholic, I think. And I was like, fuck, props to you, bro. You want to be a fucking scientist and a religious person. Like, that would mind fuck the shit out of me. Because then you got the whole, did we evolve as apes? But like, there's life on other planets.
Well, I don't think there's much question over that. Like, we definitely did.
Okay, but then what's the whole Adam and Eve story then?
A story. I think Keanu Reeves is really cool in what's his movie called? Stumped me. Anyways, my point is, I think the Bible in particular, and this is a hot take, but from what I kind of gather is, and I was raised in a Catholic household, went to an Anglican school, got like the whole introduction.
Boys.
Boys. I got all of that, and what I've kind of come to conclude is that the Bible serves as stories, it serves as analogies, it serves as, there's motives and there's messages behind the story, but I don't think we're supposed to take it for the literal sense.
Yeah, okay.
So, it's kind of like, take the story of Jesus Christ, right? Like, I don't know if I believe that someone actually died and came back to life. And there was only one person that ever did it.
Actually, now that you said that, there's a show I just finished watching yesterday called Messiah on Netflix.
Okay.
And it's literally the modern day version of the second coming of Jesus.
Yeah.
Okay. So, I don't want to, spoil it for anyone if you're going to watch it or whatever. But yeah, pretty much it's, they want to figure out if he's legit or if he's just like this amazing scammer. The whole world is like
some David Blaine shit.
Yeah, and like they talk about like there's people like they make references to actually like to real life people like Dynamo, right? Like a magician always reveals his secrets or something like that.
I think it's never reveals his secrets.
Oh, on that show they said they do, so I could be wrong. I'm sorry.
Any magicians out there, let us know.
But yeah, like like he does the whole walk on water.
Right.
Like takes a bullet out of a boy, heals him, all this stuff, right? And it really like gets you thinking because the whole series, I think it's 10 episodes, right? And it has you believing in one way. Like the whole show is leading you to think like that. And then towards the end, it like does a complete fucking U-E.
Yeah.
Which is a very Australian term. If you don't understand, I'm sorry. Just does like a mad U-turn and then just leaves it to your interpretation of the end.
Right.
So, you'd really like it.
Yeah,
like,
no, that sounds interesting.
It really.
That sounds interesting.
I didn't think I was going to be into it, but it really.
Yeah, I mean, the title kind of threw me off a little bit, but we hung in there. No, it sounds cool. I think I think the deeper you look into the stories and the more messages you find. And what I really think is that there are some deep universal truths that are embedded into literally the fabric of everything, right? There are some wisdoms that transcend all religions.
Yeah.
You look at Buddhism, you look at Islam, you look at Christianity. Those are the big three, right? They all have similar motives, where people get stuck as the characters and the names and the stories and lands and stuff like that. But if you look at the core message, treat others how you would have done upon yourself.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That is a universal, like...
Yeah, I know what you mean.
There is so much value in that.
Treat others how you want to be treated.
Treat others how you want to be treated. Do
you
know what I mean? Because then you're looking at putting yourself in someone else's perspective.
Yeah.
You're putting yourself in someone else's perspective and you're getting to judge yourself based upon your actions and the way you come across. Do you know what I mean? And once you start doing that at scale and realizing that we're all just kind of living in our own shells, but we're very much interconnected and every interaction that we have has a flow-on effect. Yeah. You start to respect more the people around you.
Yeah,
and I think that the couple words, have the ability to preach such truth.
Yeah, okay.
I don't care what book it comes from. I don't care what story teaches us that.
Yeah.
You know,
it's the message behind it.
It's the message behind it.
Yeah.
You know, and yeah, I mean, like, there's some great wisdom in Buddhism. There's some great wisdom in Islam, and we need to, you know, take the good out of it.
Yeah.
You know, we can't be drawing up tribal lines and saying, you know, the only way forward is if you're joining in my religion and my cult, because everyone thinks their one's right.
No, that's the thing. That's exactly what I was about to say. You know, that all comes down to perspective and belief. Like, you know, who's to say that, you know, Hinduism or Islamic religion is fake compared to Christianity?
Yeah.
You know, like it's.
Could you imagine at the end of it, the Scientologists were right? The aliens just come down like, fuck.
Well, like that goes back to that show I was talking about. Like, they even cancelled season 2 because they call him. A lot of it's in well, not a lot of it, but there's a fair bit in Arabic. And they call him. Well, forgive my pronunciation, but I think it's Al-Masim, or Al-Masih, which translates to Messiah, right?
Right.
But there was this big thing where because it shows like a lot of I think it's a lot of Jewish culture, Islamic religion, Catholic, like it interprets everything together, right? And the reason why I was having a little read why they cancelled season 2 was because that Al-Masim or Al-Masih, however you say it, can also be translated as the Antichrist.
Really?
Yeah, and there was this big thing, I think, with the Islamic and Catholic community that were like saying, you know, you can't be interpreting and showing it to people like this and all of it. And I was looking it up, and they had to cancel season 2.
That's fucking ridiculous.
Yeah, but the ending is like the biggest fucking cliffhanger, and it's like, what the fuck?
But
like,
maybe it's good that way.
But that's exactly
maybe it's
right.
good that way.
So,
but
it's crazy, man.
I think when I see shit like that, where people getting so upset about how could you say this and how could you do that, like, guys, no religion is fucking clean. Shut up. Like, it is very well known fact that there are a lot of Catholic priests out there that like a little finger up here and there.
The Catholics are the one that put Jesus on the cross.
Yeah, but like, I'm just talking even day to day now.
Yeah.
Right? You know, like, there's some creepy shit going on in there.
Oh, yeah.
There's some creepy shit going on in there. And I think if you look at the vast majority of Catholics, they're all just trying to lead a better life. They're all trying to be more complete humans and care for their communities. But there's definitely an offset of that Catholic community for whatever reason, sexual predators and, you know, people that are going to take advantage of situations. They're drawn to that as well because they see opportunity.
Yeah, there's always the good and the bad, unfortunately. But that's just...
You know, and so I don't think you should ever be pointing at any other religion and saying, look at what you're doing over there, look at what you're doing over there, because every religion's fucked up. Every religion's made mistakes, you know.
Yeah.
Buddhism, which, you know, has been branded quite well as being one of inner peace and being of tranquility, you know, is... Not many people know this, but there are a lot of civil wars going on in Southeast Asia over Buddhist ideologies, you know? And so there's this concept of like, oh, you're not Buddhist enough and you're supposed to be purist in this way. And the whole thing about Buddhism is that you're in a temple and you're meditating, you're zened in, you know? So even over there's a lot of racism and stuff like that. So no religion is perfect.
Yeah.
No religion is perfect.
That's crazy. I didn't know anything about that.
Yeah, I can't remember how I came across that information because I genuinely am interested in Buddhism. I genuinely see, like, I think of all the religions, it's probably the one I connect most to.
Yeah.
And it's probably the one I've researched the least. But it just, I think there's something to it, that calm kind of mentality.
Chi.
Yeah, 100%. 100%.
I actually was into that for a little bit as well. I did research on like Chi and how they are able to what's the correct words? Like, to be able to direct energy in their body, like, and they do the whole like breaking stones and bricks and all that.
Yeah.
But like, some of the things like they're able to accomplish like mentally and physically, like it kind of like does have you questioning.
I mean, look, man, there's something to be said about uninterrupted focus. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I think what's interesting about Buddhism is that it really opens the door to a lot more possibilities and a lot more, you know, prospects to the universe, as opposed to something that's more traditional like Catholicism, which there's this one creator and at the end of the day, you're going to be judged based upon your actions. Whereas if you look at something like Buddhism, it's kind of like, well, we're just telling you what's the best way to live your life, but we don't come in judgment. We just teach you perspective. And you can kind of go into this really deep psychedelic realm that ties into Buddhism really nicely. Okay. And it's very cliche, but, there is something to be said about, a mushroom trip or an LSD trip or an ayahuasca trip. There are some deep universal truths that can be found in that. And I don't know if that's hallucinogenic and it's just your brain making up happy chemicals or if there's something there.
Yeah.
But enough people are talking about it. Enough people are reporting about how enlightening and how much better they are because of those experiences that it's worth listening to.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
I remember, I can't remember if it was you or told me or someone at work, but it was, the person said to me that they had read this, like the Matrix conspiracy theory. Like how
what do they call it?
I forget what it's called.
The simulation theory.
That's it, yeah.
Bingo.
And they said to me, when a person gets high or is on like a trip or whatever, that's how you're meant to really see the world. And when you come off your high is when you come back into simulation.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if I agree with that, but there's definitely something to be said.
Yeah.
Like when you're high, you feel it shift in perspective. Yeah. Sure. It's almost like your consciousness is able to focus in a different way.
Yeah.
And you're breaking down the layers of your own consciousness.
Yeah, yeah.
Right. I've had plenty of psychedelic experiences, which, by the way, weren't induced by drugs, just through really deep meditation that really kind of made me question, like, what makes this table its table?
Yeah.
Is it that the table is actually there, or is it that my interpretation of the table makes it real?
Okay. Yeah, yeah.
Like,
I see where you're going.
There's this book I'm reading right now. It's called 4 Rules to Life or something like that. I've got it here. Hang on. It's called The 4 Agreements, and this guy really details, like, in depth, this kind of different perspective and this different ability to hold on to life and what you perceive to be real and what you don't.
Okay.
And it's just an interesting way of looking at it. That's not the traditional God created Adam and Eve and thus the earth is real. Yeah, but I think it's more important to see where do people find intrinsic value as opposed to which one's right and which one's wrong.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, okay. Yeah, that's really interesting.
You should suss it out, man. It's a good book. And it breaks it down to very simple steps. There's 4 things that you need to do in order to lead a better life,
Don Miguel Ruiz, of course. Fucking Mexicans.
Like, there's one chapter's on be impeccable with your word. Another one's like always do your best. And, there's just like these core rules again that really make up the fabric of worth. And you think about it, and it's like, yeah, there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that message.
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah, that's my 2 cents.
There you go.
Have you ever kind of dived into that?
Yes and no. Like, I don't know, man. I feel like my beliefs is very, like, just all over the place. Like, right. I'm so open to to conversation and interpretation about anything and everything.
Yeah.
But I've yet to I don't know how to word it. Like, I'm very, I don't know, I'm just so, I think if anything, like, I'm kind of waiting to like have that, like, like that realization and being like, oh, so like this actually could be it, you know what I mean? Or like to not to be it, but to really like dive in and find that understanding.
Yeah.
If you know what I mean. Like how, like what this book is doing for you, like to have that like to strive and like be like, oh, like this is like opening my eyes in a sense, you know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Yeah, I just feel like because I'm so open to all of it.
But that's not necessarily a bad thing because have you watched Life of Pi?
Yes.
Yes. He's a very interesting character in that he borrowed a lot of religious concepts from one religion and then another and see, had this very holistic approach on life.
Yeah.
And I think there's something to that. I think, you know.
I remember when I watched the movie, when he got rescued and he told the story with the animals on the boat.
Yep.
And like no one believed him, but then he retold the story with people just so they would believe him.
Yeah. And
I think from that, when I took it, it's like, well, do you only have to be able to believe a certain way to have something believable? Like, if anything, it's like you should always keep an open mind.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
Yeah.
Which I was saying before. Like, I'm so open to interpretation and conversation about all that.
And I think that comes back to, again, like, you know, the conversation we're having about COVID before. You know what I mean? Just that ability to listen to ideas and discuss them in a platform where you're not going to get attacked, where you're not going to get destroyed for it. Like, that's so important.
Yeah,
you know?
Gotcha.
We need breathing room to flesh out bad ideas and flesh out good ones and figure out what's working and what's not.
Yeah.
But if we're just attacking each other at all times and you're not vaccinated but you are, and you know, this is our land but this is our land, like it's counterproductive. It doesn't accomplish anything.
I remember I think it was this morning or the other day they were saying that they wanted to reopen hair salons or something. Now that we've hit
thank fucking God.
I mean, I need a fucking haircut, so like...
Yeah, you're wearing a hat. I'm naked here. This is ridiculous.
That's why I'm wearing a hat. But yeah, my hair has not been this long in... I mean, it's not even long.
I don't think I've ever seen you with hair that long. Oh, actually, no, you used to have the
top
front
knot,
part. Yeah, that's right.
I'm thinking of... I don't know. I'm still in the stage of like deciding.
Yeah.
I mean, like this morning I wanted to wake up and just like everything.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't mind growing my whole head out or maybe the top part again. But
that's a long game.
I know, man. It's probably like a good year from now.
That's some work.
Yeah.
That's some work.
I mean, my hair does grow quickly, which is good. But still, it's... Bro, that ugly stage is going to fuck my life up so much.
Well... I think you've gone through the rough part right now. Do you know what I mean? Like, I think as it gets more length and more weight, it's going to start to sit better.
Yeah.
You know, so the fact that you're doing it during lockdown is probably the best opportunity.
Well, that's the whole reason why I was like, if I'm going to start, now is the best time.
And if you ever don't like it, just...
Well, that's it, yeah. I mean, it's probably better now that, like, you know, we can't go clubbing and events and that, because then I'm like, well, I don't have to style shit. So it's hectic.
You know what's going to happen? The girlfriend's going to start, like, she's going to fall in love with it. She's going to start braiding it. And can I do this?
She's already told me. She's like, if you want to cut it, I'm the only one that's allowed to cut it. And I was like, okay then.
Yeah.
So, but then when you go to say you want to cut their hair, it's like, oh no, you're not fucking touching it. And I was like, double standards? What? Don't get me started on that.
Oh my God, you got some chip on your shoulder, don't you?
No. It was a good joke. That's about it.
For sure. I get it. Girls invest a lot of money into their hair. It's one of those things that it's just like.
I mean, they pay hundreds of dollars.
That's the forbidden fruit.
Yeah.
Don't fuck with it.
I mean, we paid $25-$30 to get a fade, and they got to spend a couple of $100 on whatever the fuck they do.
It's weird how much like an advantage you have as a guy.
Yeah.
You know, like you don't even consider.
Oh yeah, badly.
Like for us to go out to a party or to go out clubbing, like bro, let's be real here. It's 20 minutes to shower, shave, you fucking put perfume on, chuck in a t-shirt, jeans, bang, you're good to go.
Badly.
Easy work. You know, the amount of times I've come home from work with 30 minutes to get ready for a night in the city and pulled it off like that. It's a sport for me now. If that was an Olympic sport, I would be fucking right there on the podium.
Let's beat the PB of last time.
But as a girl, you can't do that.
Oh, no.
You cannot do that.
And like...
I mean, you can, like if that's the way you're moving.
Yeah.
But, you know...
I feel like majority need like a good 2-3 hours before to get ready.
Yeah.
Like... Yeah, it's just, I don't know.
Hair,
I mean,
it's makeup, it's extensions,
yeah.
it's nails, it's perfume, it's what am I going to wear, what's everyone else wearing?
Yep.
There's so many more inbuilt insecurities in
a
female as opposed to a male.
Yeah, I mean, like, if we rocked up in the same shirt or same shoes, be like, bro,
sicko, man. Straight the fuck out.
Like, that's
100%.
fucking mad. Then you got chicks been like, is she fucking serious?
Yeah,
like,
and they never want to admit that they're like that, but they are.
But then they'll be like, "Oh my god, babes, you look so good!"
Yeah.
Like,
oh, you're wearing
fair
it better than me.
Yeah,
and then she'll
yeah.
come over to you and be like, "I'm wearing it better, right?"
Yeah. They need that assurance. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, that's
we have this guy. We have so many advantages.
I mean, I think because I grew up with sisters as well. Like I was at one point. I think I was like, I would have been like maybe 13.
Yeah.
And my sister was having her 20th or 21st birthday.
Yeah.
And she had like all her friends over for a sleepover or whatever, and they were getting ready for the party. It was like a home party in the backyard, whatever. And my sister was calling out, I don't know what it is now, but like all this fucking makeup shit. And they're like, "Oh, Christian, can you pass me the foundation or pass me this and pass me that?"
Oh my god, it's like a surgeon, and you're just passing them the
scalpel. And all her friends are just looking at me like, "What the fuck's going on?" And I was like, "This is what I have to deal with every day." Like,
I would be so useless when it comes to that.
Oh man, like I mean now, like they've both moved out, so it's a different story. But when I was younger, definitely I was a bit, look, I don't want to know all this stuff, so I need to change it up.
Oh look, I'm sure it's helped you out.
Yeah.
You got a girlfriend, she's doing her makeup, and why didn't you show that? That can't go wrong, right?
Oh man. Actually, speaking of makeup, I'd love to do those videos where, you know, when you got like the chick in the front and then you're the hands behind them and you're just like putting this shit on. Oh,
yeah.
I saw the funniest video of this, I think she was Scottish or Irish.
Yeah.
And she was doing the makeup and like the husband was behind and like just putting it all over her face. And she's like, "Oh, so now we're going to grab the foundation," and he grabs the lipstick and he's like fucking drawing shit all over her. Bro. So funny, but like...
I need to see this video. I need to see this video.
I'll try to find it for you.
No, I'm saying like you need to make one and I need to see it.
Yes, I've already told her.
If you make it, I'm putting it on the podcast page. I'm going to have this clip and then you doing it next to it.
I've already told Jordan, I'm like, I want to do that. She's like, "Oh, sweet." So,
she's cool like that?
Yeah. She's awesome.
She's the coolest girl, man. You did well. Good
I mean,
you,
I'd
bro.
let her do that to me. That's how like comfortable I am with her. She's something different.
Yeah.
I don't know. You know how it was for me, man. I felt like I was waiting for ages because... I don't know. I was just... I was always the single one in our group. You know what I mean? Like... But like at that time, in that sense as well, like I didn't feel like I needed someone. Like I was always happy still being like the third or fifth wheel. Like... Yeah. Like we always made jokes like back then. And it was like, "Oh, so me and Chris are going to get dinner. Are you coming or what?" Like, you know what I mean? Yeah. So... Well, yeah, man. I'm happy with... happy with what I have.
No, 100%, man. And I think like an important part of that is that like obviously there was people in between that period and you meeting Jordan, but I think all those people kind of propelled you in the right direction. It was like you didn't want this, but you didn't want this. But you didn't want this, but you didn't want this. That's all we're doing. We're sifting and sorting and figuring out what we do like and what we don't like. And so when you find something that you do like and you really value, like you want to hold on to that. You know what I mean? You really want to get the most out of that experience with them, whatever that looks like. Whether it lasts 6 months, 6 years, or 60 years. You want to make sure that, you know, you're giving your all and you're also, you know, enjoying the fruits of that.
Yeah, 100%, man. And I feel like it's unfortunate that like you have to get hurt or like unwillingly you have to hurt people if you don't feel like it's the right person or the right situation for you or the right relationship. But like it's... You know, it is what it is.
Perspective, man. I'm fucking 21 years old. You're 23?
That's the thing, right, man? Like, dude, we're both so young.
We're
like,
so young.
I'm like, you know, knock on wood, that like, you know, me and Jordan, you know, we just stay together and work out. But yeah, like you...
There's no pressure.
Exactly, man. Like, you live in the moment, you know? Like,
for sure.
I got it today. I want to keep doing life with her, you know? Like, and that's
exactly. Take it a day at a time. Enjoy
that's it, man.
Don't rush into anything.
Don't overthink.
Like
the majority of the girls.
Oh, God, I do it as well, man. I overthink a lot. That's probably like... I guess I doubt myself a bit too much.
Okay.
And I think a lot of people do that.
I mean, I do doubt myself.
And then you catch yourself and you go, "Oh no, it doesn't matter.
Yeah,
it's fine. It's all gonna work out.
That's
like,
it.
It's all okay. 2 hands, 2 feet. Like everything's gonna be good.
Yeah, that's it. I feel like once you start to appreciate yourself and love yourself as well, like you become very what's like as a reference like stable with yourself. Like say you're like financially stable, but within yourself. like you feel even better when you're with that person. You know what I mean? So like, I don't know how to describe it. Like, say for example, like I don't text Jordan all day, right?
Yeah.
She would not get worried at all. Like, she's not going to be like, oh, he's, with some
Jordan, I'm taking your fucking man. He's mine for 10 hours. This is going to be the longest podcast in history.
But yeah, like...
I found him first.
Oh, I've already told her that, don't worry. But yeah, we're really good like that. Like, and I think because we've both been in situations where... like you feel so on edge and you have to tip your toe all the time that like you became so accustomed to that feeling where now like at the start we were both like very like apologetic to each other and stuff like that.
Yeah, those first 3 months you're always kind of like you're always going to be a bit more cautious. Yeah.
But like then it's come to a point now where like if we don't text each other all day, it's not like, oh, why are you angry? Why are you avoiding me? It's like if we both have shit to do, we get it. Like, that's life.
Yeah, you got 8 hours of COD to play, man.
Like, bro. Like, I got to level up. I got to level up, bro.
Like how many Star Wars fucking movies are there?
Oh, bro. I mean, then you got the TV series, YouTube series,
and then you got to watch the reviews so you can like be more educated on this perspective
behind the scenes, and then like if you got some free time after the 8 hours, and you get into the fanfics, and
for sure, man, that's where it gets spicy.
Oh, bro, and you got.
See some.
I mean, if I told you what Legends in Canon is, do you understand what that is?
Was that even English?
There you go. Say that's another 8 hours right there explaining.
You were so deep into this universe that actually, like, I don't know how I didn't know this about you,
bro. I got toy lightsabers at home. If you want to come get fuck off, I'll bring them next time.
Boys, bet. As a kid, I remember growing up, we would like have Star Wars club at school, and we would look like the biggest. So embarrassing, but we would literally go around lunchtime and just play with these pretend lightsabers.
I still got 2 at home.
Yeah, you got the real ones. You got the real thing. No, I'm saying we had pretend ones, bro. We just used.
Yeah.
I got you.
No, these ones, they come out. And it's mad.
That's fucking dope.
I remember, this would have been like I've had these since I was like 8 years old, 9 years old, like primary school days, and we used to take a family friend of ours to school with us. Like, so her mom would drop her off to our house. And then me, my younger sister, and this girl, like, we'd all go to school together. Mm-hmm. And while my sister was getting ready, me and this chick would have lightsaber fights in the lounge room before we go to school. And we'd have, like, a tally every day of who was winning. And, bro, it was fucking bad. And, like, if she was going easy on me, I'm like, you're going to fucking fight me or what, man? Like, let's go, bro. Like... I'm ready, man. Let's do this.
And so now you're like committed to gym and gotten all jacked up. So next time you lightsaber fight, you can really hit a fuck
That's
up.
it, bro. If you want to take the lightsaber, man, let's go. Yeah, that's what I've been training for.
This guy, he don't fucking sit down.
Man, like
you're jacked up.
Oh, I love it. I mean, you want to trend, bro? I put in the lightsaber, man. Let's go.
All right, well, man, I'm happy to call it there.
Yeah, man.
I think we're good to wrap this up. This was fun.
We've covered a lot of
I don't even know what we talked about.
Man, we started with something and it just fucking went.
We went on this huge fucking tangent. It was great, but listen, man, tell the people, where can they find you?
Where can they find me?
Yeah, where can they find you?
They find me right here.
I like that. No, Instagram, fucking give yourself a shout out. Do it proper.
Cristiano98. But, this today, it's not about me or what I'm saying. This is all about this guy. Like, man. Like, you put in the hard work for this. This is your dream. This is your blood, sweat, and tears. Your money, man. Like, bro, like you've transformed this room. Like, I remember what it was, and bro, like, it's crazy, man. Like, I've seen the work you put in, bro. Like, who does that? Who does that, man? Seriously. Like, look at that shit, bro. It's crazy.
Someone that's in lockdown,
bro.
That's someone who does it,
bro. I remember the day I picked up this table after you and your dad got this, man.
Table.
I don't know how the fuck you done this, bro, but it's crazy.
We had to bring this table down 2 flights of stairs, and it was like 250 kilos.
I honestly respect to you and your teal, man. Like,
no, look, man. Honestly, for me, this is a labor of love. I love this. I love everything about it, and I'm planning on keeping going with this, you know.
I hope so, bro.
It's just a good excuse for us to hang out. If anything, if nothing comes of it, for me, it's just like I get to hang out with my friends and talk shit.
Yeah,
it's a bit weird. There's a microphone there, but after 10 minutes, you forget it's there anyway.
Oh, 100%.
All right, Chris,